There have been newspaper reports citing several sites for the ITS or Intermodal Transport System North Terminal. The ITS has been one of the original infrastructure projects of the Aquino administration since it came to power, which aims to reduce vehicle volume and eliminate provincial bus flow into the metro and improve traffic flow along its major thoroughfares. To give us more insights into this huge undertaking, we have invited to Motoring Today's Motoring Forum Attorney Migz Sagcal, the spokesperson of the DOTC, the lead government agency tasked to see the project through. Welcome back to Motoring Today, Attorney Migz.
Thank you, Butch. Thank you, and good afternoon to all your viewers.
Now, word has it that the Veterans Memorial Medical Center, or VMMC, is being eyed as a possible site for the ITS North Terminal. There have been questions as to why it is being considered while it is not exactly located along the peripheral corridors of Metro Manila.
We've had a bit of a challenge finding an appropriate site for the ITS North. Compared to South and Southwest, where there are government-owned lands, the North is quite congested and it's a bit difficult to find a site that's owned by government or at least available to government. At the same time, it would serve the purpose of being near or around the fringes of Quezon City, Caloocan, and the other northern cities. But it seems every time we look at a site, we consider the impact on traffic, obviously, and VMMC is still quite it's still quite a good location, despite it being rather inward. It's still quite a good location for an ITS terminal.
Aside from the VMMC, what other sites are being eyed for the purpose of putting up the North Terminal or the ITS, and why are they being considered?
Well, at this point, actually, we're really focused on VMMC alone. We've considered previously a site in UP, in the Commonwealth area. We've previously considered the North EDSA area closer, near VMMC, but closer to the intersection of North EDSA. And also we've looked at a few in Balintawak and Caloocan. For one reason or another, each of these other locations that we looked at did not make as much sense as VMMC does now. For instance, we also looked at Manila Seedling Bank near the Quezon Circle area, and that one we saw would have much worse impact on traffic. So these are among the considerations that we've looked at, and so right now our main push really is for VMMC.
Migz, the ITS was one of the first published projected major infrastructure projects of the Aquino administration upon its election. With barely a year left, do you think this would come into fruition before his term ends?
We don't actually expect any of the ITS terminals, unfortunately, to be operational before the term of President Aquino ends. In fact, we're looking at more 2018 to 2019 for the sites to become operational. Unfortunately, if we went through a regular mode of just building the structure and operating it on our own, then we could have done that quicker. It could have been done probably in 2 to 3 years, the first 2 to 3 years. But we went through the public-private partnership program, which requires a lot more analysis and a lot more tedious process, but it pays off in the long run. It results in better run and better operated facility. So we opted for a longer term solution. It results in a longer process before getting approval and getting operational, but in the long run it will pay off.
Tell us, what's the latest on the South ITS terminal? I understand despite a long period of studies, the government has not finished with the initial bidding. What seems to be the problem and the major cause of these delays and setbacks?
It's in the tender process. We are bidding it out currently. The one problem with the South terminal that we encountered was the linkages, the developments that are taking place in the area. You have the rehabilitation of the PNR line that will happen within a few years. You have the opening and the construction and opening of C6, which is a line that will feed into that area as well. So there are quite a few projects that are being pursued in that area, and we had to make sure that each of these projects would meld well together and there would be no issues later on.
Thank you for your time, Migz. Before we end, Any message to our viewers relevant to this issue we just discussed?
Yeah, well, I guess we would just ask for a little bit of patience from the viewers. We know that these projects, we've been wanting them for many years, but we're doing the right thing. We want to go through the right processes to make sure that we have longer lasting solutions to the traffic problems that we have today.
Thank you, Attorney Migz.
Okay, thank you, Butch.
Attorney Miguel Sagcal, DOTC spokesperson, our guest this week on Motoring Today's Motoring Forum.